So today we might get the answer we're looking for. Today we're gonna be watching why everyone in the industry apparently it would seem hates Drake. So I'm not gonna be blown up like this the whole video. So let me go ahead and adjust that right now, and let's get into this video. Let's get into it. Hopefully we get some answers answered because I need to know.
If you're unaware, there's been a huge beef going on in the rap community as of late, with many of those disses being aimed at Drake. Even recently in Drake's response, he said, "All you people teaming up, what is this, a 20v1?" And he said this because artists like Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, and many more have dissed him, which has left many people wondering why everybody hates Drake. So let's look into it, starting off with Future and Metro Boomin. In light of recent events, Drake's beef with Metro and Future is pretty well documented, so I'm not going to go super into detail in this section, but it provides the backstory for us to understand why all of these rappers assembled to diss Drake. So Future and Metro Boomin are the two people responsible for the so-called rap civil war, and it seems like Metro Boomin is the main mastermind behind it. But why does Metro Boomin hate Drake? Well, it seems to have started back in December of 2022 when Drake was left off of Metro Boomin's album Heroes and Villains.
I was just in the studio with Drake one time.
I'm gonna say this. I'm trying not to pause too much, but I'm gonna say this. I didn't hear that it started with Metro and Future. I heard it started way before then, but I understand he said the rap civil war. So, you know.
And because we were going to do some stuff for my album, and he just wanted to hear some songs from my album. Then he heard that one and really wanted to get on it. But like, I was letting him know that it was really just done for real, and I was really just set on how it was. I was like, bro, I ain't even trying to sell you no dream. Like, it's really like just locked in. I'm locked in where it was, but
their beef seemed to flare up again after Drake and 21 Savage's album Her Loss kept winning Album of the Year over Metro's album. Metro tweeted, "Yet Her Loss still keeps winning Rap Album of the Year over H&B. Proof that award shows are just politics and not for me. I don't care about awards, honestly. The true award and reward is knowing that the music I spend so much time on brings..."
Time out on the play. You say you don't care about awards or rewards, whatever one he said. You say you don't care, but here you are on X venting about it, it would seem. No offense to Metro, shout out to Metro, but it would seem like, in my opinion, you have some type of care for it because you wouldn't have said anything, right? Not saying you can't vocalize your opinion, but
to people's everyday lives. Metro quickly deleted it, but there was obviously some tension there.
Why you delete it?
Drake also seemed to respond in a live stream.
And to the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweeting deleters.
oh,
You guys make me sick to my stomach, fam.
Oh.
Honestly, you guys want to look in my eyes. You guys want to do something?
oh. He said the tweet in the leaders. So
That's what I thought.
This is how I used to dress 6
got
months
an
ago.
ad? Shout out to the
This
ads, man.
is
Shout
me
out to
now,
the ads.
and it's all thanks to my...
So we can't be sure if simply leaving Drake off of his album and Drake winning a bunch of awards over him was what started all of it, but it definitely seemed to fuel the flames. And it made Metro mad enough to make 2 whole albums with Future targeted at Drake, full of a bunch of other rappers who hated him. So why did Future, an old pal of Drake, participate in the formation of this civil war? Well, the origin of Future and Drake's beef is unknown, but we do have some ideas. The last time Drake and Future collabed was on Future's album I Never Liked You, but after that there was some speculation they had some problems.
And back to my
Joe Budden.
Future Metro Boomin Drake tension. You don't think it's weird that nothing ever happened with that fucking hit smash song that Future and Drake made with Tim's?
What do you mean? Nothing
Wait
happened?
for you.
It was a hit.
It was a hit.
When you say
I
what
know it
happened,
was a hit. It was a smash.
So what you mean? Nothing happened with it.
Never heard.
No, they made a music video and everything to that. It's heavily on the radio right now to this day. It's on the radio. They made a music video. They promoted it heavy. I don't get where you're going with this. But shout out to Joe Budden.
And after that turned out to be the case when Future dissed Drake on his album, it left many people wondering why. Well, a lot of fans speculated for a while that the beef was caused by a girl. but Metro Boomin shut that down by saying, "Stop making stuff up for engagement and enjoy the music." So with that in mind, the next assumption was that Future and Metro are good friends, and that Future simply sided with Metro in his feud with Drake. Metro's producer tag is literally Future saying, "If young Metro don't trust you, I'ma shoot you." And for whatever reason it is, Future and Metro have made it clear that they do not trust Drake. And it's clear that Drake has problems with them too, because on his recently leaked Push-Ups diss, he said, "I could never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand," which was a Future diss. And all he had to say to Metro was, "Shut your hoe ass up and make some drums," which was...
But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Out here, you know what I'm saying? Future been that he was already popping, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I understand about the whole #1 stuff, but Future was already popping. Let's just be real. All right.
For whatever reason it started, that issue with Drake is why when they made the first album, they had to recruit another rapper who hates Drake. And that, of course, would be Kendrick Lamar. Again, Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef is pretty well documented as of late, so I'm not going to go super in depth, but again, it has some important backstory. So Kendrick and Drake started off as friends in the early 2010s, with Drake really helping him out early on by bringing him on tour with A$AP Rocky. They collaborated a few times together as well. But the beef all started when Kendrick and Big Sean released Control, and in Kendrick's verse, he said he was coming at everyone in the rap game, including Drake. Most people weren't offended by this because Kendrick said he had love for them and figured it was just some friendly competition. But Drake took it a different way. Drake said, "I didn't really have anything to say about it. It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well that Lamar's not murdering me at all, in any platform. So when that day presents itself, I guess we can revisit the topic," which is pretty ironic looking back.
But where did he find this quote? Because I heard something completely different that Drake said, you know. And by the way, can y'all give me some video references of this whole Kendrick and Drake beef origin? Somebody already did. Shout out to you. I'm gonna try to check that out. Hopefully I can get it today. But can y'all give me some more? You know. But yeah.
Along with Kendrick progressively blowing up and challenging Drake's status, kicked off a decade of subliminals between the two artists that I'm not going to get into. But if we fast forward to the late 2010s when Kendrick was on a hiatus after Damn, we can see Drake directly calling him out multiple times.
You know, the other two guys that I'm constantly, up against, which is like Cole and Kendrick. I'm excited that the decade's about to turn and we're gonna see who can, who can go that extra stretch.
A lot of these guys that go away 3, 4, 5 years, want to chill out and all that shit, that's not me.
After First Person Shooter, a song where Drake and Cole collabed and said they were the GOATs, Kendrick had to respond. That's when he featured on Like That with Future and Metro Boomin, in which he directly called out Drake. Kendrick said things like, "Mother F the big three, it's just big me. I'm really like that and your best work is a light pack. Prince outlive Mike Jack. For all your dogs getting buried, that's okay with all these nines, he gonna see Pet Cemetery." As I'm sure most of you know, this diss sent everyone into a frenzy. And there was no way that Drake could not respond to it. So he did on the leaked.
He didn't expound on this just then, but I heard that when Kendrick said your best work is a light pack, he's talking about his artist Daylight, who allegedly wrote Back to Back, which is the song that really solidified Drake in the rap game. I'm not saying that made his career, but it made everybody give him respect because he beat Meek Mill, who came from battle rapping. So that whole your best work was a light pack, that bar is heavy if that's true.
On Push-Ups, a song where most of the bars were directed at Kendrick, but he took some shots at everyone else dissing him as well. He said things like, "How you big Stephen with a size 7 men's on? Maroon 5 need a verse, you better make it witty. Then we need a verse for all the Swifties." And a bunch of other lines like that. On this song as well, Drake claimed that Like That is not what started the beef, but it's been brewing for a long time, which is evident in the decade of subliminals they've sent to each other. If you want a more in-depth video on Kendrick and Drake's relationship, I suggest this one by What's the Dirt, which I'll link down below. But
shout out to you for giving me a link, man. You know what I'm saying? I might have to check. Let me know if y'all want me to react to that.
Replay poker. As many of you have seen, because I've
Shout out
streamed
to
it
the
before,
ass.
But Drake's recent response had a few other disses towards other artists in it, including The Weeknd. The Weeknd and Drake have had a fairly public feud that's been on and off for a while now, but after being featured all over Future and Metro's albums and sending some shots at Drake, the flames seem to have been reignited. It all started in 2010 after Drake heard a new young artist called The Weeknd, and they met in 2011. Drake supported his career very early on and was a big fan of him. They worked together a lot, and The Weeknd even wrote 4 of the songs on Drake's album Take Care. As The Weeknd was growing as a solo artist, in 2012 Drake said, "I want to continue being involved in his career and vice versa, and keep making music together." As
Boy, did that go left. I'm gonna just say that. Shout out to The Weeknd. I mean, I'm always giving shout outs, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know these people personally, so why would I have beef, you know? But The Weeknd, he came in hot, like on fire, and he still is to this day. So I could see why Drake saw that potential early on. So that was a good look.
on paper, it's all being worked out. But that's not really what counts anyway. What counts to me is the fact that affiliation is known, and that's all I really care about. It was clear that Drake wanted to sign The Weeknd, and he said it often.
This is forever the first artist that OVO ever had and still has, and OVO XO is alive forever, I promise.
But that would be turned on its head when The Weeknd signed with Republic Records.
That age like spoiled milk.
September of 2012, which clearly upset Drake. He said on Twitter, "You won't get away with just a thank you. You owe me a favor." Things went along as normal for a while. And if you're curious, a normal Drake beef looks like some subliminals throughout your songs while maintaining the fact that you're cool in your interviews. Until 2013, when The Weeknd did an interview with Complex. He revealed that the songs he gave to Drake were originally for his album House of Balloons, but The Weeknd made it sound like he didn't really want to or that it wasn't the right decision. He was also asked in reference to Drake, "People think you guys aren't cool with each other anymore," to which he responded, "No, that's not true, but it makes sense. The thing about Drake is I told him what my decisions were going to be, and he was down with it from the beginning." So despite the both of them saying they were cool, there did seem to be a bit of tension surrounding Take Care and The Weeknd not signing to OVO. In 2015, The Weeknd opened up a little bit more about his early relationship with Drake when he said to Rolling Stone, "I gave up almost half of my album. It's hard. I will always be thankful. If it wasn't for the light he shined on me, who knows?"
Half of his album? He got... Bruh, I'm gonna be real, man. Half of his album? If I heard that right, The Weeknd gave up almost half of his album that literally were hits. I could see why he would want to leave and go do his own thing. Because that's the
I'd be. And everything happens for a reason. You never know what I would say if this success wasn't in front of me now. So even though he wasn't entirely happy about giving some of his songs to Drake, he was still able to appreciate and acknowledge the big boost that Drake gave him. Things were quiet for a while until 2017 when they both appeared on each other's shows, signifying that they were cool despite any previous tension. But then Drake was rumored to be dating The Weeknd's ex-girlfriend Bella Hadid, which definitely could have sparked some issues between the two. After that, Drake posted a throwback photo to Take Care, and someone wrote in the comments that said The Weeknd wrote the entire album, to which Drake responded, "Abel co-wrote on Shot For Me in Practice, obviously was featured on True Love and The Ride, and that's it. There's 20 songs on that album. Don't try me." Then The Weeknd actually got back with Bella Hadid for a while, which possibly upset Drake as many people speculated on his 2018 album Scorpion that he sent some more subliminals to The Weeknd. Then in 2019, The Weeknd seemingly dissed Drake back on his song Lost in the Fire, saying, "And I just want a baby with the right one, cause I could never be the one to hide one." Which is a reference to Pusha T revealing that Drake had a son that he was hiding from the world.
I've heard this song a million times, bruh, and I never thought to even be like, "Oh, that's a shot at Drake." You know what I'm saying? Whenever I listen to him, it's like, hey, it's a vibe, right? The whole time, what can I say, man? What can I say? What can we all say? There's a lot going on that we don't know, but shout out to these people that's keeping us informed.
Weeknd also said on Nav's song Price on My Head, "You beefing with yourself, tell the truth. People on your side, they would ride for me too." But again, Drake would maintain that he had nothing but love for The Weeknd.
To this day, I'm always excited, always super happy for all those guys. And I never like had any resentment towards like, oh, you didn't stay on OVO. That was never really like, I'm not gonna say there weren't people that didn't feel a way about it, but that was never my thing. I never expected Abel to stay on.
Man, come on, Drake. You just said this forever. We just saw you in the last. Come on, Aubrey. We just heard you in the last clip, or one of the last clips, say it's forever. You promised. But now you saying you didn't expect him to stay forever. It's easy to look back at stuff and be like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect it. But in the moment, you were saying it's forever.
Yo, as soon as I heard him once express that he wanted to do his own thing. So it's like, my biggest regret would maybe be that we probably wasted 7 years not communicating with each other when we had something beautiful going on.
Drake
Wasted.
Yeah, this one.
echoed this sentiment on his song War by saying, OVO XO link up, and they boy that sound like he sang on Thriller, we just had to fix things, family 6 things, we can't split up. After that, things seemed like they might have been cool again, especially when they were hanging out together at the Weeknd's birthday party in 2022. But in 2023, on Drake's album For All the Dogs, it seemed like he may have sent a shot at the Weeknd on the song All the Parties when he said, my playing P&D in them shorties don't listen to Weeknd. Some people don't think it was a
How is that not a diss, bro? Hold up. My shorties don't listen to Weeknd. How can you be at somebody's party and then on your next album you taking shots? First of all, how can you be at somebody's party when you was taking shots, y'all taking shots at each other for 2 or 3, however many years, and then y'all just gonna kick it at a party? It's something, I'm telling you, it's something about this industry we don't know about. It's like they forcing these people to be next to each other. Like Chris Brown said in his diss track, I did it for the bag, man. These people doing it for the bag because there's no way you...
But after recent events, it very well could be. In late March of this year, Future and Metro Boomin released their collab album We Don't Trust You, which, if you're unaware, was essentially an entire diss album towards Drake, with a handful of features having beef with Drake as well. The Weeknd had some vocals on there, but it wasn't until they released We Still Don't Trust You where the disses at Drake came from The Weeknd. The most direct shots were on the song All To Myself when The Weeknd said, they could never diss my brothers when they got leaks in the operation. I thank God that I never signed my life away. And we never do the big talk. The shooters making TikToks got us laughing in the Lambo. This line references a few things, like OVO affiliates spilling the beans to Pusha T about Drake's son, and how The Weeknd is glad he never signed to OVO. And Drake, of course, was not a fan of this team-up, so he sent some shots back on his diss song that was recently leaked called Push-Ups. Drake said, your manager was Chubb's little blunt runner, claimed the 6 and you boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash Flow and Abel Bread out here tricking. Shit we do for is he doing for dudes. Cash XO is The Weeknd's manager, so basically Drake was making fun of both of them in this line. So now that we know the beef with Drake and The Weeknd is back on, we can't say for sure exactly why, but it definitely has something to do with some ex-girlfriend drama or The Weeknd not signing to OVO back in the day. And
speculation, but based on everything you just presented, all the sneak dissing, all the shade, it's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I'm just be 100. I'm telling you, it's a lot more going on that we don't know. For them to just kick it at a party and then next thing you know they're taking shots again.
He knew The Weeknd hates Drake. Metro Boomin made sure to get him on this album with Future. And another person he made sure to get on this album was A$AP Rocky. Similar to The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky and Drake used to be good pals. But now there is some beef that is in large part because of a girl. Surprise, surprise. Back when A$AP Rocky was starting out, Drake took him on his Club Paradise tour with Kendrick Lamar. And because of this, Rocky said that Drake is the one who put him on.
The only person that put on for me when I ain't have nobody was Drake. I'm talking about Drake was the first person to put on, like, before anybody. He didn't want to sign me. He didn't want to, he was like, yo, that's raw talent, yo. Like, you gotta shine, yo. I'm gonna see to it. I forever owe Drake.
They collabed together, most notably on songs.
But I disagree with that. I disagree with that sentiment. Because when you have that mindset, I'm gonna be honest with you, when you have that mindset that I'm gonna forever owe somebody, let me tell you, people are greasy and they sleazeballs. if people even use those words. But people do you nasty out here, man. They do you nasty. So if you feel like you forever indebted to somebody, you gonna always fall into something you don't want to fall into. Because they gonna feel like they can do something with your girl, and you gotta forgive them because they did something for you. Or they gonna feel like they can just do shady stuff, but you gotta forgive them, or you just gotta let it slide because they put you on or they did something for you. Nah, I'm not with that. Yeah, you can have gratitude for what somebody did, and you can pay them back however you pay them back, but on them forever, you don't ever want to be indebted. Listen, you don't ever want to be indebted to somebody forever. Forever.
Having problems, and were good buddies for a while. But as many of you probably know, Drake really liked Rihanna. They apparently dated briefly in 2009 and again in 2014, both of which Rihanna denied. But it seemed like Drake was obsessed with her. Like when he gave a speech about her at the VMAs saying, "But most of all, we love the woman who hasn't changed since day one. She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old. She's one of my best friends in the world. All my adult life, I've looked up to her even though she's younger than me. She's a living, breathing legend in our industry." Apparently, they even kissed on stage around this time. But there was a bit of a love triangle going on. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna met around 2011 and first collabed in 2012. He also toured with her in 2013. But then Rihanna and Rocky were seen hanging out a bit more in 2018 and 2019. And by 2020, there were rumors that they were dating after Rihanna had broken up with her previous boyfriend. Fast forward to 2022, and the couple is having a child together. Then another in 2023, and then Rihanna confirmed that their romantic relationship began in 2019. And there were even rumors they were going to get married. But one person seemed to be a tad bit jealous, and that was our good...
I mean, 2 kids, you already married, but y'all might disagree with me, but...
Drake. Many fans assume that Drake's song Fear of Heights from For All the Dogs was about Rihanna, because he said things like, "Why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you? That could never be me. Girl can't run me. Better him than me. Better it's not me. And the sex was average with you. I'm anti because I had it with you. And I had way better than you. TBH. Yeah, that man, he's still with you. He can't leave you." Basically, the...
If you're looking to get a degree in IT
Shout out
or
to the ads.
cybersecurity, UMGC is waiving their application fee through May 31st.
The entire first verse.
Bro, that's disrespectful. Did A$AP throw shots at him first? Like, why he just come out dissing people? And why is it over females in most of these cases?
Aimed at Rihanna and Rocky, with, in my opinion, some pretty weak disses. Drake also seemingly dissed Rocky on the song Another Late Night when he said,
Why?
"I'm pretty Flacco, this get really rocky." Oh, and on Virginia Beach, Drake said, "I know what you say I could have treated you better or whatever, but I don't know, I think I did alright. And you know how you get drawing conclusions like you got a Parsons degree or something. I could have treated you better, that's crazy. No." In a hilarious interview where...
Y'all feel like those are about A$AP and Rihanna or not, though? Is he reaching? Is he reaching, or are those, like, I'm just saying, I just want to know in the comment section, is he reaching?
TMZ reporter tried to jog with Rocky and ask some questions. She asked about the Drake diss, but Rocky didn't respond. But then Rocky somewhat responded on Kid Cudi's song Wow, where he said, "These people can't stomach me, gotta go get a mandrake." However, Rocky finally addressed the situation directly on Future and Metro's second diss album, We Still Don't Trust You, on the song Show of Hands. He said, "People swear they the baddest. I just begged the worst one. And they feelings over women. What, you hurt or something? I smashed before you birthed, son. Flacco hit it first, son. Still don't trust you. It's always us, never them. Heard you dropped your latest shit. Funny how it just came and went." So it's pretty obvious what Rocky's talking about here. Drake didn't seem to target Rocky on his latest diss track, but he did post this meme targeted at everyone who dissed him. So at least we know why the two of them started beefing. But what...
That meme stuff, we all know the results of what just happened with that meme stuff. You know what I'm saying? Rather you like Kendrick or not, we know what just happened.
The person we didn't know was beefing with Drake was Rick Ross, until we just recently learned the reason. Rick Ross is an artist who has seemingly been good friends with Drake for a while now, so many people were surprised to see them beefing. They've collaborated many times, most notably on songs like Money in the Grave and I'm On One. They even hinted at a collab album as recently as 2021. There was a brief conflict between the two back in 2016 when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill, since Meek was signed to Rick Ross's label. Ross said, "If it's gotta go there, Renzel gonna jump off the porch on your ass. That's just the way I've always been and I'm gonna die that way. You just gotta know what you're doing for your dogs." So he clearly was siding with his signee, which makes sense. And when Drake and Meek patched things up, so did Rick Ross and Drake in 2017. The most recent time we've heard Rick Ross speak positively of Drake was in May of 2023 when he said on Drink Champs that him and Drake are very close. Even in January of this year, Rick Ross said to Aiden Ross on a live stream that his favorite Drake collaboration was Stay Schemin' and that it was a magical experience making it. In March of this year, Rick Ross and his girlfriend Christina Mackey announced that they had broken up back in February. But then, for some reason, Rick Ross unfollowed Drake on Instagram.
It's always over female. It's always over. Most of the time, it's over a female. Some of y'all may not believe in the Bible, but y'all gotta read the Bible. All of this is in there, bro. It's in there. It's in there. Wars happen over women. But I don't know about this Rick stuff. 3-4 months ago, he was just praising Drake. It seemed like not that type of praising, but like giving gratitude and respect to him. And now all of a sudden they dissing. Is it fake? I don't know.
By Future, Metro, and Kendrick was released. Everyone was focused on the Kendrick verse and may not have realized that Rick Ross was featured on the album as well. An album that, mind you, was full of Drake disses. It was basically targeted at Drake, if you haven't picked up on that already. Ross's verse didn't have anything to do with Drake, but it may have been that tiny bit of allegiance that upset Drizzy, because shortly after that, Drake invited Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend Christina Mackey to his concert, and it was a fancy invite that she posted, which probably had Mr. Ross feeling some type of way. This is when people thought there was beef, and then it was confirmed not too long after. When Drake's song Push Ups leaked, he had some bars for Rick Ross. He said, "I might take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in, he turning 50. Every song that made it on the chart he got from Drizzy. Spend that little check you got and stay about my business." So he briefly addressed Rick Ross, saying he took his girl, referenced Rick Ross's past as a correctional officer, and then said that every song on the charts that Rick has got has been from him. He didn't spend too much time on Rick Ross as there were many other people that he had to send shots at, but it was enough for Rick Ross to immediately get in the studio and respond to Drake in a full-length diss track.
But when you say had to go at them, he didn't have to go at them. He chose to go at them. He could have just kept it at him versus Kendrick. And I feel like that's where one of the things that he went wrong. He just kept going to other people. We came to hear Kendrick versus Drake. Let's be 100. But he just, I don't know.
Ghostwriters, they get to floss what you could have had. Record label taking a loss, are you in your bag? You a worker wanting to chart, don't make me laugh. Here he directly addressed Drake's claims and said that because Drake outsources things like ghostwriters and has to pay for them, that the record label is probably taking a loss on his music. Ross continued later on saying, "Like his moves, but he never had to fight in school. Always ran, another person had to write your grooves. Flow is copy and paste, Weezy gave you the juice. Another white boy at the park want to hang with the crew." In this line, he calls Drake soft again, saying he doesn't live the lifestyle he claims to have lived. And Ross also said that Drake just got his flow from Lil Wayne. On the hook, Ross called out Drake for leaking his diss track instead of speaking directly. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this track was in the outro when he accused Drake of wanting to be white, so he had a nose surgery to make his nose smaller than...
I'm gonna be 100. I'm kind of over this Rick Ross thing, bro. If y'all want to check out that, you can. Let me see if he mentions anyone else. I know y'all don't like when I do this, but I'm kind of over the whole Ricky thing, bro.
Some of his lyrics have been about her, which also could have upset Kanye. Over the years, Drake has sent many subliminals, and Kanye has gone on plenty of rants about Drake. So basically, their beef is over a bunch of pretty petty stuff, which isn't very surprising considering both of them.
Okay, so the last person here was about Ye Wasim and Pusha T. All right, we already know kind of what, I already know about that. I'm gonna end the video here, bro, because we already like 30 minutes or so into it. Shout out, let me see, let me make sure. Let me make sure I get his channel right.
Personalities. And I wasn't going
Give
to
me 1 second.
Kanye in this video until he
1 second. Shout out to, I'm gonna just put his name on the screen, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say it. Shout out to Matty Balls, you know what I'm saying, for making this video. And yeah, bro, this is why everyone hates Drake. Apparently, you know, I feel like it's a lot of stuff that's not explained in this video, but he covered a good ground of it as far as reference tracks goes, and some of the females. But we probably be here all day if we just really analyzed why everybody hates Drake. 30 minutes is crazy talking about why everybody hates Drake. But let me know if you got any more requests in the comment section below. In next video, I guess, I don't know if you should have your popcorn ready. If you should be ready to just, I don't know, get your drink ready and the popcorn, because who knows? It might be 2 hours long, next reaction. But yeah, let me know if you have any more requests in the comment section. And